Jack Bromwich, and I'm here to talk about my new EP, Flowers. So this EP is different from my previous work because I wanted it to be more electronic. I wanted it to sound a bit more upbeat and just have a bit more of a brightness to it. I think I've been writing songs in the same formula for quite a long time, so I just wanted to have a bit of an update and a bit of a reset on the new songs. I approach the songwriting in a similar way that I've done previously. I normally have a song title and a couple of lyrics to go off, so that will form the basis of the songs, and then I piece things together from here. For this particular EP, I think I've had the most varied versions of each song. I think I've gone through about 5 or 6 for each finished result. So I often get one idea, I'll get one sort of lyrical, one hook, and that can change the song again, or I'm sort of searching for, you know, the timing of the song, which is good. The main objective was to make lots of money. No, main objective was, I guess, just to challenge myself and to see what else I could do. You know, like I said, I do write in a simplified way. It's just me and a guitar, so I wanted to bring in other instruments. There's a lot more of synth sounds on here, as well as strings and sort of voiceovers as well. So just, you know, to just fit as much as I can into a 3-minute song, and to also sound different on my behalf and for people listening to it, really. Right, so London on My Mind, that was the first song I recorded for this album, and it is about going travelling, but remaining something always brings me back to London in particular. So I just like, you know, I've lived here for my whole adulthood, and it's just somewhere that I'm in tune with, and I feel sort of deep rooted in. So it's sort of having a good time, which is important, but always sort of having it, you know, close by, and always coming back like a boomerang type vibe. Again, it's an upbeat song. It sets the frame for the first, you know, for the first song. It is brighter. I've tuned up all the guitars a little bit. There's less grunge sounds in it. So it's just a nice sort of upbeat, a good intro to the EP. Your Feelings is about putting someone else's feelings before your own, I guess, and almost sort of, you know, the needs of that person, or, you know, it's sort of you put that first to the detriment maybe of your own. You know, a lot of people exist for other people, or you get happiness out of it. So I think it is sort of like a nurturing song. It's a sort of, you know, it's, I can look after you. So that was the second one. What we've got then, we've got a song called Flowers, which doesn't particularly have a directive. It doesn't really have a story. I just had the riff in mind of what I wanted, so I just went off that, and I had a sort of hook. I knew the sort of the chorus was written quite early on in the writing process. So it's just a fun, upbeat song, and we've added bells and whistles, and it should sound fun.
I come up, you come down, got 5 stars, no hotel.
Number 4 is Late Night Man, and that is a song. We actually had 2 versions of the song. So we had, I wrote it back in March with a different idea of how I wanted it to sound, different chords. When we were in the studio, I wasn't happy with it. Wasn't how I imagined it to be. So we cut the recording of it and the mixing, and I basically went back to the drawing board and tried to write it again. Then I brought the second version back, and my producer sort of preferred the first version and not the new polished version. So we basically came to an agreement, and we just took something from the first one and the second one to merge them into one song. And then I was happy with the outcome, because it was sort of, the first song wasn't complete, nor was the second, but together they married up quite well. And it's about feeling sort of indebted to someone, or sort of feeling not in a necessarily bad way, but just sort of being that late night phone call, and trying to establish if that will ever materialize or continue, or if it is just that sort of late night feelings that you get for a person. Five is 25. So that refers to the age that I was when I felt the things I felt during that period. So it was I wanted to get married and have children at 25. And it's just, I think it's like an ideal, it's an ideal song. It was the idealistics I was in at the time. That they haven't changed. I think things alter, things do over time. You grow up and you realise what you want, what is sort of in your path at the right time. So it's a sort of, again, it's an upbeat song. It's just sort of, it addresses the feeling I had, a couple of years ago. And again, that's one of my favourites on the album. It's a song that I think is it's just like a nice finished product. And then the last one, number 6. I wanted to. This one's called Forever, and I wanted to write a song about my sister. We don't always see each other that often, and not as much as I'd like to. So I've always had this. I think I've probably done quite a few songs for her, but I never recorded them. But I've always had the idea that I wanted to write a song about her. So it's a nice sort of, it's an ode to her, and it's a song. We're not always together, but that's what I would like. And that my favourite times are when I'm hanging out with you, just watching TV and stuff, even though life gets in the way. So yeah, that's the EP. I hope everyone likes it. It will be out probably, I'd say, the end of July, beginning of August. We're just wrapping up the mixing of it and stuff. But yeah, I hope you like it, and it will be on Spotify and Apple and iTunes and all the other platforms. But yeah, I'll hope to do more. There'll be more gigs, and I'm going to start some merchandise and stuff. But thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy it.